Matrix Metal. Hmm, never heard of it. I'm gonna see if I can back that light up here. I think that's a little better, and back this up some. Well, my scent of the day was Vertus Soul Patchouli, one of my second favorite patchouli fragrances. But let me see if I could change this up a little more. Or maybe it was better that way, but oh, all right, there we go. I guess that this lighting just sucks. Maybe if I moved it back a little, maybe that'll do good. Do some justice. See if I can move it up a little. Put it back. I guess I'll leave it right there. But anyways, I thought I would just talk about the only top three fragrances I've really been reaching for the last few days. And I haven't worn Fig Me Up in a while, and I felt like wearing it. I've worn it the last couple of days in a row. And I also been reaching for Hawas Highness and Azure Royal. And I gotta say, after revisiting Mancera Fig Me Up, since I've had it, I've worn it 2 days in a row. And what I really, really like about this is the fact on my skin, after I've had it for a good, what, a year or two, maybe, since it came out. The rhubarb is really, really nice, kind of, green, slightly bitter. Sadly, it doesn't stay very long, and I wish it did, but it's a beautiful rhubarb. I like the fig green leaves. But what's really interesting is the fig milk and how the geranium blends, and it almost like gives off this herbal tea like nuance. Now, the funny thing is about Fig Me Up, the oud here, I don't really pick up. And I think the oud was added as a filler to hold the other notes in the base and in the heart together. What I do detect in the dry down is this nice toffee and this tobacco. It's really, really beautiful. And this is one of my favorite fragrances based around fig, and probably the only favorite besides Essential Harmony Figaro. That's definitely top two for the best figs I've ever smelled. But this one I think really shines the best when it's spring and maybe cooler summer days and in the fall time. I wouldn't want to wear this during hot, muggy days. It doesn't perform well, which I've tried that and I tested that theory. But on a summer day where it's like upper 60s, maybe low 70s, that's where this comes in. But definitely in the spring and fall. No, I'm not really into soccer. Sorry. I love that extra premiere. Nice. Enjoy. I like certain figs, like Mancera Fig Me Up and Figaro by Essential Harmony. They I like the way they move me. I find them very interesting, regardless of how much it costs. But be sure to hit the likes, thumbs up button. It signals engagement. It pushes my live stream out. Much appreciated. It's absolutely free at no cost. But I never did a live stream on Monday, and normally I prefer to do it Sunday, but Sunday I couldn't help because we had a bad storm, lost power, and I didn't get my power back until about 11 o'clock at night. So, with that being said, some people like Fig Me Up, some people don't, and that's understandable. I mean, you're paying what? Probably a little over $100 retail, almost 200, but I do see that one maybe in the high 80s, low 70s off like what? I think Fragrance Net. I think they had them on sale with huge price cuts. I almost thought about buying a backup for myself because I think by fall is when I'll be wearing a lot of this. I'll probably be half empty and need another bottle. But let's move on to a couple other ones here that I've really been reaching for a lot. And I gotta say, when it comes to Blue Talisman, Azure Royal, they nailed it with this one. And I gotta say, this is my second fragrance I've owned by Ahmed Maghribi. This one I didn't buy. I actually won it off Instagram. I don't even know how, but it was just one of those days where I just, said, hey, you know what? I'll take my chances. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I won't. And I think I was one out of 200 some people. So it's kind of fun. What I really like about Azure Royal, it's candied, vibrant, bright, and it's got pretty good quality for a budget cologne. And I think Ahmed Maghribi brand, I find to be having the best quality for a budget cologne. It doesn't have that Middle Eastern smell like Latafa has. And I'm certain there's synthetic aroma chemicals in this and fixatives, and that's okay. But this one doesn't make me sneeze compared to Latafa. So this is a very good one. Very mass appealing, great for office wear and all that fun stuff. But what I like is it has really good performance. I'm not one to buy multiples of the same stuff. If I didn't have off-non Terethi electric. I never bought that. Off-non Terethi electric. I just wasn't impressed. I had a sample and I just didn't care for it. I got nothing against off-non. The 9 p.m. line, they do a good job. And even like 9 a.m., good job. But as far as the other ones from off-non, I wasn't too impressed. And I never really jumped for all these other dupes out there from all these other brands. And I saw somebody else talking about this one on Instagram besides TLTG reviews. And when I got a DM on Instagram that I won this, I said, I'll be looking forward to it. And sure as shit, I'm actually impressed with this one. It's the second cologne I own by Ahmed Maghribi, and they did a good job. Red Tobacco by Mancera for the best summer scent. Not on a hot, muggy day. I couldn't wear that. That's more like fall and winter. Maybe for you, sir. Not me. I'm good. I would rather wear freshies or woody aromatics. Now, if I came across a summer tobacco scent, yeah, why not? But tobacco, I feel like that's more for like them crisp, cool spring days or a summer evening where you're going somewhere nice. Joel, I missed you, buddy. So, with that being said, let me get right back to it. Azure Royal, I get about 7 hours on skin. I wouldn't say it's beast mode, but it's definitely fire. And I really like the pear in this one. I like the pear more in this compared to Mancera Aqua Wood. Nothing against Aqua Wood. It's just more juicy, mouth-watering, vibrant, and far as I wouldn't say a direct clone, not one to one, but I'd say this is more like 70% there. Either way, it's a really good alternative. Cell tax, unfortunately, does often is live. But yeah, that happens. What do I think about Gotta Fire? The original? I never got my nose on it. Actually, I did. I take that back. The original's beautiful, but I prefer one of my dupes that has better performance. I think my brother had Island Dreams. It was okay, but ever since he pulled the trigger and bought the real Louis Vuitton Symphony, I would take that over all them dupes. Nothing against you guys, but that's just my personal opinion. But I will have a full review out on Louis Vuitton's Symphony. It's going to be a good review. Should be out this coming week. But the one thing that just comes back to my mind, $600 price tag. I do love the scent. I hear you. That's why I just got to save up. It's what I did. And that's how I ended up with 7 Louis Vuitton fragrances. Took me a few months to save up, but it was well worth it. And it's not every day I'm gonna go spend two, three, four, five, or $1,000 on cologne. But if I want something, I'm gonna save up for it. I will say this much: Symphony. I only sprayed it once on my skin, just once. And I was testing performance and all that stuff, longevity. I could smell it in the next morning. So performance isn't an issue there. Now, in all honesty, not to get off topic here, I still feel that a lot of their prices are a little bit extreme. I mean, $300 to me can be reasonable. You know, say you land a good job promotion or something and you want to treat yourself to a, something you've been wanting for a long time. That's one thing, reward yourself, something you want and save up for. But $600, let's be realistic. $600 is like the average monthly vehicle lease if you have poor credit. Pretty much like maybe what? It's like $659 total for a symphony. And at that point, you're paying the price of a new vehicle. If you're financing or leasing, it's pretty hefty. So that always comes back to my mind. But let's get back to my topic here. Top three fragrances I've been reaching for the most during summer. Number two, Hawas Highness. This is probably definitely my number two favorite Hawas flanker, besides all the other ones they keep just dropping left and right. Like, what are they trying to go? Are they trying to set the record and end up with 100 Hawas flankers? How many do you really need to release per year? But anyways, Hawas Highness. After I spent a good quality time with this one, I do see how Tigar and Vibrato fits in here. At first, I was thinking it's all Vibrato. Then I came up on another sample of Tigar and I compared them. And hmm, this one here, I feel like maybe some of the notes in here gives off that Tigar vibe. And I can see how it fits in here. It's well done and it's straight fire. And this is definitely top two out of all the Hawas flankers that I own. Number one, well, I wouldn't include it in this live stream, but number one would be Hawas Verde. That's my absolute favorite Hawas flanker. I like it more than ice. Nothing wrong with ice. I just really, really enjoy the fresh greenness to it. But Highness, I go nose blind to this. Straight out. I go nose blind. It's not weak. This one definitely has good performance. So they hit a home run with this one. And I'm happy to have this in my wardrobe. When I find an available 30 mil, yeah, I might even do that. Get a little 30 mil just to have. But Hawas Highness, my bottle is, I would say the level is probably down to here already. I got that much of a dent. And Hawas Verde, it's starting to get there. I was wearing the crap out of this when we had a heat wave last week, or this past week, should I say. Yeah, last week, where it felt like 107 degrees out. I was wearing this. I was wearing some other lighter, fresher fragrances. And this one, Wasp Verde, just kept me the most comfortable, Torino 21 vibes. I don't consider it a clone of that at all, but this one's just really, really mass peeling and really good. So that's like, what I call my summer go-to weapon. That's my spring and summer weapon fragrance that I keep in my spring and summer rotation. And Hawas Highness, I like wearing this if I'm going somewhere. And I don't find it to perform very well in hot, muggy days for me. I feel like it performs best during summer evenings, like if I'm going out cruising somewhere. That's where this one comes in handy. And so, out of all those that I talk about, so I've been pretty much wearing Azure Royal, Hawas Highness, and Fig Me Up the last few days. It's what I felt like wearing lately. And especially Fig Me Up. I think it's probably my third or fourth favorite Mancera out of all the 25 or 20, should I say. I think I'm down to what I sold 4 Manceras recently. So I would say out of 21 fragrances, 4 of them are my top 4. This is top 3. So this would be number 3. Number 1 would be Intense French Riviera. Number 2 would be Intense Instant Crush. And 3, Intense Cedrat Boise. So this would be number 4 out of all the 21 Manceras that I own. I used to have 25, and I sold Cedrat Boise, French Riviera, Royal Vanilla, and Purple Flowers. I had to get rid of them because I just stopped wearing them. Hey, what's up, Buff? So then, let's get to the fun stuff. So I got some samples here, and I bought a Sphinx fragrance. And I got some other pickups, and I want to get right to these. So I got my first Sphinx fragrance, and I pulled the trigger. I had a coupon, and I picked up this bad boy right here. Sphinx, Night of the Nile. And I was able to request some samples if they had it. And they sent me Wood of Gods, Oceanic Symphony, and Sunkissed Sands. And I believe Sunkissed Sands is the newest release, and I feel like checking that one out because I hear that it's a really good mango, and I hear from others that it's syrupy. So that gives me mixed feelings. So let me find the correct one here, and we'll get right to spraying it. And what is this one? See if I can find it in light here. This is Oceanic Symphony. That is, I think this is Wood of Gods. I think. All right, let's get right to it. Few sprays here. Okay, this is Sunkissed Sands. Let's see what all the hype is about. Because I hear this is by far one of the best releases from Sphinx. And I've smelled a lot of mango fragrances, quite a bit. This one's okay. It's not like jumping out in front of me or being like, whoa, oh my God, this is the best. I'm not getting that kind of feeling. It's not bad. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's kind of more like a fresh mango scent. I don't find it to be like, let's say synthetic wise, like Herba Pura by Zerjoff. It's not screechy. That's a plus. What's decent? You know, I get a really nice photorealistic mango. I feel like it's on the natural side, like you just went to your favorite local produce place and bought some fresh ripened mangoes. That's what I'm getting here. Pretty decent quality. This is pretty good. Sunkissed Sands. That one will definitely go on my list. I wouldn't mind owning this one, but then again, I would have to see how Night on the Nile smells because I don't want a bunch of mangoes in my collection either. But this is good. This is pretty good. I don't get the syrupiness like others do, so that's always a plus for me. Based off first impressions, this is a really nice summer fragrance. I get the vibe of summer energy here. Just really good. I would probably have to spend a few more days with it, but based off first impressions, I'd give it a, maybe 7.9, 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Next one here. Let's see what this one is. I'm curious to see. I think it might be, this might be Oceanic. This might be Oceanic Symphony. I think it is. So let's spray this one and see what it's about. Do 3 sprays. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. This is different. Hmm. I like this. I don't know what I'm smelling here, but definitely get this nice oceanic vibe. Something's standing out. I like this a lot. This is really, really good. It's got some saltiness, marine notes. This is really, really good. I'll probably have to look up the notes after my live stream, but I really, really like this. It's kind of vibrant. Definitely get like this oceanic marine coast vibe. It's kind of salty. I feel like it kind of sits closer to the skin. It's noticeable. It's not loud, which is always a plus. It's always good to have, you know, fragrances that are noticeable, that are pleasant, that doesn't scream or choke somebody out. This is good. So this is solid. This is pretty good release so far from Spinks. And last but not least, Wood of Gods. And I specifically asked for this one because I like woods, and I'm certain I'm going to enjoy this too. Because I like stuff that most people don't like. Yeah, I knew it. I knew I would like this. So I was right. I picked up sea salt, ambergris. Yeah, definitely got some citrus to it, but okay. Wood of Gods by Spinks. I can see why some people wouldn't like this one. It's okay. I like it though. This is this is a nice like woody forward fragrance. A little bit of oud in here. Maybe some green tones, but either way, all 3 of these samples are actually really nice. Oceanic Symphony here, I definitely like, and I feel like the ambergris and the sea salt and musk is kinda actually slightly loud on my skin where I'm not getting much of the, top notes, but either way, Oceanic Symphony is eventually gonna find its way into my wardrobe. I like that. Same with Wood of Gods. I do like that too. Hey, yeah, everybody has different tastes. But yeah, like, for example, I'm not a fan of, a lot of syrupy fragrances, you know? If, let's say, we're talking about Le Mans Elixir, I used to like it. I don't hate the smell, beautiful smell, but on my skin, it's way too syrupy, and I get a headache, and I just can't wear it anymore. So I pretty much use that one for, like, comparison videos if I come across dupes and such. And it's funny because Les Beaux Les Parfums, I don't get that problem. Yeah, I'm liking that. What a gods. That's those will definitely be on my list and will definitely be on my radar. But let's get right to it. Grand finale number 1. Night of the Nile. And the other thing I find interesting with this box, they kinda do the same thing with Louis Vuitton boxes. It's got, like, a magnetic opening. It's always a plus, so let's see what this one is about. I've been saving this bottle for a live stream. Nice presentation. I like the cap. It's got some heftiness to it. So, let's get right to it. Night of the Nile. Let's spray it right here. Get a couple of sprays. Nice atomizer. I got some nice atomizers. Pressurized. That's always good. Mmm. This is really, really good. Man, oh man. Oh, vibrant, juicy. This is mouth-watering. It's like intoxicating here. Man, is this a good one? This is absolutely beautiful. And I can see why. Night on the Nile, it definitely lives up to its name. It delivers. This is good. I get a lot of fruit. I get mango. This is good. And it has a tolerable oud in here. I like this. This is pretty good. Based off first impressions. If you're a fan of Oud Maracuja by Mason Crivelli, and you want something a little more easier to wear, this would be it, because that's what's coming to my mind. It makes me think of Oud Maracuja, but this is more easier, slightly more mass appeal, and a lot easier to wear, and an easy reach. Although I do like Oud Maracuja too, but this, I find it to be a little more juicy, a little more vibrant. And it's intoxicating in the opening. This is absolutely good stuff. So, since you got Summer Vice, what do you think of it so far, Dame? Because unfortunately, I bought it too. And I already own something in my wardrobe by Vivamore, owned it now. Two different fragrances, but the opening is kind of similar to Summer Vice, and it's like, why did I buy it? So I don't know. I've been trying to get it canceled and see if they can cancel it, but then I learned Vivamore Parfums has a no cancellation policy, and that's kind of stupid, in my opinion. So I'm probably going to have to refuse the package because I'm certain the blending and the dry down is going to be different, but the top notes, it's pretty much the top notes in Own the Now, and I don't want it. But if you like it, hey, cool. And you're enjoying it, cool. But I don't know. I'm not too thrilled about it now. At first, I wanted to get it, but now that after I bought it, I'm gonna just, if I see the mailman, I'm gonna refuse the package so it can go back. But yeah, I'm really, really liking this. I'm liking Night on a Nile by Sphinx. I'm happy I bought this. I'm gonna have to give this a full wear. This is very beautiful when it comes to tropical stuff. Yeah, the opening notes. It's actually quite similar to this that I own. The opening on Summer Vice is kind of similar to the opening in here. You know, it's got them citrus top chords, and I don't always like that. Nah, I'm a refuse the package and send it back. And after I was talking to some people that are very familiar with Vivamore, they do say a lot of their newer releases always have the same exact top notes, just with a different blending and dry down. Kind of like this. I get like Sicilian mandarin, lemon, bergamot, but the heart is different in this. This is more of a creamy take on vetiver, but the opening, you get this intense citrus blast of Italian lemon, or I would say a Sicilian lemon. I think Sicilian orange, maybe mandarin orange, but it's got Sicilian bergamot. And then in the heart, I forget what's in the heart, but then you got, I think, sandalwood, vetiver, and sugar in this. So this is a creamy take on vetiver. But I noticed the last time I looked on Vivamore Parfums, I was looking at the top notes. It had a couple top notes, pretty much a couple top notes in here. And it almost just makes me not want to have it. Like, I'm certain it's going to be nice. I think what? Summer Vice has pineapple in it and maybe caramel in the dry down or something. I forget. But I don't know. I'm either going to refuse the package, get my money back, or I might offer it up as a free giveaway. I might do that instead. So I plan on doing a free giveaway in August. So for all my regular subscribers, I will make an announcement at the end of July and what the rules are and how you can participate. So if I do decide to keep Summer Vice, I'm just going to offer it up for a free giveaway and let somebody else be a happy camper and have something nice. Or if you want a backup bottle or whatever, but I think I'm going to let that one go to the free giveaway. Well, true, but Some of the fragrances I own in my personal collection, I don't always get pineapple on skin. Maybe it's the quality. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna offer it up for a free giveaway instead. And I think, it's time I give back to my own fragrance community who support my channel. So I would rather make somebody else happy. And not to get off topic, let's talk about something else. I'm going to talk about some of my pet peeves in perfumery. Notes that I are like least favorite to me. Pineapple and vanilla are probably my top two least favorite, depending what they're blended with. Vanilla in general, I just really can't get into that stuff. Like, let's say Matiere Premier vanilla powder. I can't get into that. That's just way too powdery for me, and that I just it's not for me. Does it smell good? Yeah, definitely. But it's vanilla's just I don't know. I find vanilla, let's say vanilla ice cream, bland, plain, not interesting. Sure, it's good and it'll add a bunch of pounds on your weight, but in perfumery, for me to like vanilla, it has to be blended with a lot of spices, darker notes, heavier stuff where it's more grown up, and pineapple. I think the most interesting pineapple scent I've ever gotten my nose on is by Gallagher fragrance called Pineapple. It's probably the only pineapple I like besides some of the other Aventus dupes, but all in all, pineapple and vanilla are by far my top two least favorite notes when it comes to perfumery. I have a hard time liking them. If that makes sense. Hey, what's up, Iceberg? After spending the past hour thinking of what to wear for the evening, I decided on, hey, you can't go wrong with that. That's pure art inside of a bottle. Beautiful stuff. Man, I do not know the notes in Night on the Nile by Sphinx, other than I get a really beautiful mango here. I do smell some oud. I smell some other fruits, but this one doesn't disappoint. And yeah, it kind of reminds me in the vein, in that realm of oud maracuja, but a lot more easier to like and wear. So I'm glad I bought this. I'm gonna have to get that in the rotation, give it a few full wears before I do a full review on it. But I like this. Based off first impressions, I give this a solid 9 out of 10. This is absolutely good. Oh, let's not screw that up. And I got a couple more here to talk about. So I bought a couple new Essential Harmony fragrances here. And the one I'm holding here, and I'm certain I'm going to butcher the name, it's Nero di Agrumi. Man, oh man, you want to talk about citrus? Yeah, you get plenty of it here. This is totally different. It's got a beautiful scent profile. Blood orange. Phenomenal in this. This is straight fire. And once again, shout out to D, Essential Harmony. Keep doing what you're doing because you got beautiful stuff. I get blood orange, bergamot, jasmine, ginger, vanilla, oud, vetiver, and patchouli. This is phenomenal shit. I like this. It's just absolutely stunning, one of a kind. And what I like about what Dee does with her brand, she steps out of her comfort zone and does different things that most people don't do. And she's always coming up with really good creativity. So, Diagrami, maybe that's how it's pronounced. This is fire. So, with that being said, beautiful atomizers, as always. This is really bright, vibrant, intoxicating. Yeah. Far as perfumers go, D, she's definitely in my top 5. She would probably be top 2. Well, top 5. She would be in number 2. She'd be in number 2. Let's do like top 5 perfumers. Quentin Bish, he would be 3. D would be number 2. But all-time favorite perfumers in my top 5, my boy Jerry and Clayton, Native Parfums, he's number 1 because he does phenomenal shit that I like. Number 2 would be D. Number 3 would be Claude Durr. Number 4, Quentin Bish. And number 5 would definitely be Raja Dove, hands down. Now, if I was to do top 10, that would be different, but those are my top favorite 5 perfumers of all time. So this one's good. This is like a nice summer, year-round. Easily you could wear this year-round. Summer banger for me. So I'm happy to have this. As you can see, this is always a blessing here. As this one, you have the notes on the bottle, and 2, this is just hands down good. I'm happy I bought this. I'm probably going to let it sit for a little while longer so it fully reaches its full potential. But the current first fragrance I ever bought from D was a sample pack. Uh, was Plum Noir, Figaro, leather and smoke. I think some kind of rose scent, maybe a freshy Arctic Storm, I think. And Plum Noir is by far my all-time favorite plum fragrance. Hands down, one of the best, if not the best, the best. Plum Noir is absolutely stunning for a plum fragrance. Kind of smoky, but man, oh man. This one doesn't disappoint either. So, how many guys are familiar with Essential Harmony besides Dame? And if you like fruity, you like woody, she has every kind of scent profile you can think of. And her prices aren't that bad. She has really good quality for that matter. And I don't want to sound biased either, but I would take a lot of her stuff over a lot of some of these other Middle Eastern dupes out there. That's just my personal opinion. I've had Plum Noir for a little while now, and the color is actually kinda getting a little darker, but and Plum Noir is a straight up hitter. I get plus 10 hours on this one, and it's been, I think, a couple months since I've owned this one, and it's reached its full potential. This one just sits on my skin, wafts. It's intoxicating. I wouldn't say a room filler, but it definitely packs a punch. This is potent. You definitely get a photo-realistic juicy plum in this, and, she definitely has a lot of hitters. She's got a lot of good stuff. Whether you like tropical, rose, and all of that, uh, Arofa, yeah, it sure is. Haven't been really been in the mood to wear that one lately, though. I wore it last night, but yeah, I have Erofa, Aventus, Royal Water, Royal Oud, and Original Vetiver. But I'm gonna be right back. I got to go use the restroom because I am well hydrated. All right, I'm back. Oh man. Whew. One thing when you're extremely well hydrated, it's like running up and down the stairs. Anyone else got experience with it? Yeah, Eurofa's really, really nice. It's got like a watermelon note in it, kind of very fresh, you know, effervescent, beautiful, well done, clean. When I say clean, it's a really clean scent, very clean. Um, I've worn it a few times since I've owned it. I just haven't really uh, worn it lately because I'm always reaching for other stuff that really grab my attention. But Eurofa's really, really nice. Kind of, you know, a little salty, but it's beautiful. It's a very nice, clean, refreshing scent with some watermelon, ambergris. It's got this like saltiness to it, and it's very well done, beautiful. And I get about 7 hours with this one. I'm lucky to even get 7 hours because most of theirs don't even hit that for me, but it's great. You really get a nice watermelon in here, citrus, and all of that. It's beautiful. It's a really beautiful scent. Hey, what's up, Dutch? Blueberry musk. Ha, nice. Well, I was talking a little bit about one of my new pickups from D, and I was talking about this one. Nero, the agrumi. This this is straight gas, fire. I really love the blood orange, the patchouli, the vanilla, jasmine, bergamot, and vetiver and oud in this one, and even that ginger. But here's the thing, it's very smooth. It's appealing. This makes a nice this is definitely signature scent worthy. I could wear this year round. Spring, summer, fall, winter, day or night. And if it's easy reach, this is a good one. So I'm happy to have that one. And I have one other one that I bought. I got Kinship and I saw that one sold out really fast. I was kind of not expecting that. I went to go look for another one because I thought about grabbing one more, and I was gonna get a backup bottle of Kinship, and it's gone. Kinship is really nice. Yeah, Kinship is, you know, definitely up there. How close is Rasasi Hawas Highness? Well, to me, it's definitely a Tigar vibrato twist, but far as close on my skin, after I did some comparisons, I'm gonna ballpark it at maybe the high 70s. I wouldn't say 90%. It's not there. No way. I would say maybe 70, 75% close. That's just my personal honest opinion. But for a budget, it's not it's worth having, especially if you don't want, to own vibrato or Tigar. I get it. But I wouldn't say it's 1 to 1, 90% or any of that. I am not familiar with Regent or anything from Mykonos. They haven't really captured my radar. I'm not crazy for them. And I don't jump at every dupe or every Middle Eastern release. Yeah, I can understand that in toxic. Makes sense. I got the ones that I want. I've always wanted Erofa every time I would check it out at Saks Fifth. Unfortunately, there's no more Saks in Ohio by me, so I don't have that option anymore. And the times I did, I smelled Aventus Cologne. I like Absolute the best. Aventus Absolute is probably my favorite version of Aventus. And then I smelled Erofa and I was like, hmm, okay. Wow, it's pretty good. And then I smelled vetiver. Then I smelled Royal Oud. And then I got the other one, Royal Water. Out of the five I own, Royal Water is my number one favorite creed. You got any cyclamen fragrances? No. Yeah, Erofa is underrated for sure. It's beautiful. That's for damn sure. I really like the melon accord in here. I give watermelon. It's like photorealistic. It's kind of got a herbaceous tone. It's got beautiful citrus. Very good quality. As we all know, Creed has exceptional quality. Saw your video that, okay, gave you the most comments for the week. Uh, we did have a heat wave not long ago where it felt like 107. And I'll tell you this much, this is just my own opinion, but you could do whatever you want. I do not think it's really good for extreme high heat, especially if you live somewhere with humidity when it's really muggy and sticky out. I just feel like it's just not for extreme high heat. It didn't do me any justice. It didn't last long in the heat on my skin. Not everybody's going to get the same performance. And I think it's good. I think it really shines better. Like, maybe your high 60s, high 70s, or maybe lower 80s. But 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Not on my skin. That's for sure. I wore it one day when it was 107 degrees out. Didn't work for me. So when it's that hot, I like to reach for something like Royal Water by Creed or Hawas Verde or Azure Royal or, Dior Sauvage, things like that, or even Mancera, Intense Drap Boise, Wave Musk, or, things like that. Dior Home Cologne, Nautica. That's the kind of stuff I like to wear when it's extremely hot out. I have never smelled Erofa, but I have always assumed it's kind of a old school smelling. I could kind of say that. Not like, Viking by Creed, which kind of has that old school, old spice kind of scent, but I could kind of see it here. It kind of has that old school vibe. It's good. Maybe grab a little decant, pick it up, get yourself a little 2 mil, 5 mil decant, spend time with it. Yeah, that's another great choice. Gin Tonic by M. Micallef. Let's say another one there. Ahmed Maghribi Spectrum Chill, one of the most unique Pacific chill twists. Another great one for high heat. There's so many out there. Versace Eros Energy, YEDP, YO Fresh, even some of the Zaharovs, Polos, or even like one of my probably the only Bond number 9 fragrance I own. That's another one. I forgot I even have it. It's been a minute. Kind of I wouldn't say full bottle anymore, but there's another one. Bond number 9, Scent of Peace Natural, more like a eco chic kind of vibe scent fragrance. This is another good one for high heat. And it has this really nice raspberry tartness scent to it, and that's why I like it. So there's another great choice. And but yeah, so if you want to wear Hawas Highness in 90 to 100-degree weather, by all means, do what you want to do, sir. But I just don't think to me, I don't think it's really worth it. It only lasted, I think, a few, maybe 4 or 5 hours on skin. But if I wear it on a cooler day, low mid 70s, I get better performance. Imperial Valley works in the heat. Huh. Everybody has their own opinions. You know what's the funny thing is? If we all had the same kind of skin chemistry, we'd probably get the same performance on everything we own. Nah, I don't really get into soccer. Not really my thing anymore. I kind of outgrew it. Nothing against soccer, but I like college sports more. I used to be into the NBA a lot, but I don't really watch basketball anymore either. I like, my kind of sport. I watch the PBA, professional bowling. That's what I'm into. That's my sport. That's what I get into. I enjoy. So I'm always watching pro bowlers, or I might watch golf, or maybe baseball, but and of course college football. That's where I really, really like. I'm just not crazy for pro sports no more. And I don't want to get off topic, but yeah, I'm actually happy that the next one I wanted to see another team win besides some of the others, so I'm happy they won. But I don't know if rumors are true. I've always been a Golden State Warriors fan. They had their run, they had their fair share. They've won some championships and shit against the Cavs, but now Golden Warriors are just shit. I just, I think my all-time favorite player on Golden State Warriors is Klay Thompson. I never really cared for Curry. Draymond, he's okay, but Klay Thompson, he was my favorite. But then I hear or seen something in the paper that they're interested in what is the name? Queen LeBron James. If that happens, I'm gonna have to find a new basketball team to cheer for. So, oh, Pro Mini Putt in TV. Huh, that's cool. Yeah, Klay Thompson, I think, is the best player on Golden State Warriors out of all of them. Stephon Curry's pretty good when he's on fire for hitting threes, but nah, that does already. Braun not going there. Good. I've been hearing things though. I've been seeing. I do read the sports in the newspaper, as far as certain things go, but they was trying to get Anthony Davis to go there with Braun. Eh, I wouldn't want him either. I just, I don't like LeBron. I never really did. You know, all he would do is go from one team to another to chase and win a ring. To me, that's not winning. You know, all he ever did was take an elevator to go up and bounce from one damn team to the next and try and get a ring, and bouncing from all these different teams, he wanted to build a powerhouse team. To me, in my opinion, that's not winning. Stick with one team and do it the right way, not be a flip flop or like a turncoat. And one day you're a Bulls player, Next day, you're a fucking Lakers player. And two, he's a big fucking crybaby on top of it. So I don't want to, being Swedish, I have never really got into it. I'm not crazy for pro basketball anymore. You know, my days were the 90s and the NBA. I'm a diehard Michael Jordan fan. Always will be. I love the Bulls. I love the Lakers. I like pro basketball from like the 60s, back in them Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J days, Jerry West, all those fun guys. The 90s is what I liked. But now, I don't really watch NBA anymore. I don't really watch the NFL as much either until it's football season. But what I've really been enjoying is watching my favorite home team, the Guardians. They've been playing pretty decent this year. Baseball, I do enjoy. If golf is on, I'll watch golf. But, bowling. Bowling at heart is my favorite sport out of everything out there. So, with that being said, what's my football team? Steelers. And I don't get on the bandwagon with Steelers. I've been a diehard Steelers fan since Terry Bradshaw days. He's my all-time favorite player, Terry Bradshaw. I have his card in a screw case. He was my all-time favorite. And I would guess I could say my father got me into football. And my father really enjoyed all the guys from the 50s and 60s. He's gotten to see Jim Brown play, Willie Namath. He's got Jim Brown's autograph in one of his books. But nowadays we don't really keep up with all the new shit that goes on in the NFL. But I do like the Steelers. Was talking to someone what you were saying about LeBron. Yeah. What about it? Let's talk. Oh, what I was saying about LeBron? There's what I said about LeBron is I don't like how he goes from one team to another to try and fucking win a ring and that he's a fucking baby. End of story. That's just how I feel. And he bounces from all these different teams to try and do what? Build a powerhouse team? To me, that's not how winning is done. Yeah. And, we can agree to disagree, but I never really liked LeBron. I never did. Ever since when he played for the Cavs, I always had weird vibes, and I said, he's probably going to be one of those people who will win a ring here, doesn't happen, goes to another team, then he comes back, and it just bounces all around. And now in his mid 40s, he likes to flop around on the ground and draw fouls. What kind of message does that send out? You know, especially to loyal LeBron fans. You know, in my mind, that's not how true men play ball. That's another reason why I'm not crazy for the NBA anymore. And if we was to, yeah, It's just, it is what it is. Let's take Queen LeBron and throw him in the mix with, let's say, the first USA Dream Team. He would get ate up alive. But you know what? Everybody's going to have their own opinions. Everybody's going to have their dislikes and likes. So it is what it is. Maybe in LeBron's generation, he's good in his generation. But the guys from the 90s, it'll never be. Those two eras just don't compare. Two different eras, two different times. Yeah, you got drafted to the team. Stay there and build your power team. The guys from the 90s, nah, they would never get cooked. It's impossible. Never, 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 never happened. You take Bird, Drexler, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, Robinson, Karl Malone. Let's see, Magic Johnson, I can't use Jerry West, Isaiah Thomas, and you take Pippen, Rodman, Shaquille O'Neal, or Penny Hardaway, and Jordan, especially Bird, Magic, and Jordan, they would murder these fucking guys today. They would murder them, literally. Literally. And you know what? I'm not afraid to say this. So, all these newer guys nowadays, they all suck ass compared to the Michael Jordan days. It'll never happen, ever. So you could keep saying whatever you want to say about Queen LeBron Panty Boy, but I never liked him. And he's a crybaby bitch. End of story. But that's why I don't really talk basketball, because these conversations can get heated and I can get heated back because I'm not afraid to say what the fuck I want to say. And that's why I don't watch basketball anymore. I feel like the whole entire NBA basketball nowadays is like they got Kool-Aid in their blood. They don't know how to play. Now, I'm not saying all of them are bad. New York Knicks, they played good. I've seen a few games. They can play ball. But some of these other teams, a lot of them just like to call fouls and get their way. To me, that's pussy boy shit. It's not how you play ball. So let's get back to fragrance. So, how many of you guys got new cologne coming in? I'm still waiting on another free giveaway. It'll eventually come here. It hasn't arrived yet, and it's okay because, people get busy and all. So, when it arrives, it'll arrive. And I did come up on another fragrance, but I will probably save that for another live stream. Well, yeah, I agree with that one, Joel. Caitlin Clark, I would take her over a lot of the NBA players. She could dance circles around these fucking flopping pussy ass bitch males who play ball. She definitely knows how to play. She's good. But here's the funny thing about people. I'll talk about some people in my neighborhood that I'm friends with who are bikers that are in, you know, the MC club lifestyle. They all hate LeBron. They have no respect for him. They burned his jerseys and they don't respect him as a person. You know, is LeBron a good player? Yeah, in his generation, sure. Yeah. But now I just don't like how he plays now, you know? I think he should throw in the rag and retire. A lot of people on my street, a lot of them, I'd say maybe 100 of them, you know, anytime they hear LeBron, they get mad, they get pissed off, and they want to fight someone and put someone in the hospital. I don't get like that. But some of these people who've lived here a long time are like that. They hate him. They don't like him at all. I don't know about that. I don't know, man. I don't know about that dame. You well, come in heavy, don't come in light. That's all I'll say. Yeah, it is. Burning jerseys is a little too far. There is some people like that who live on my street. They literally hate LeBron. They don't like him. Nah, I'm friends with a few bikers. I'm not gonna say their names out of respect, you know, but I'll say this much. They straight up hate LeBron James with passion. In fact, he I'm the only one I'm allowed to bust his balls because I'll sometimes text him and be like, you know, LeBron's better than you. He'll be a better ball player than you on the court because sometimes we'll go up to the park and shoot ball. And I'm the only one who's allowed to, play around like that. Anybody else, not so lucky. Are the are the Hell's Angels really badass or is it more of a myth? Okay, first off, I'm not going to talk about that on my channel. And secondly, you should, don't listen to everything you hear on the internet. Because I'll put it this much, not one person is ever going to walk up to a real one percenter and talk shit and expect to not walk away without a broken jaw, or if they're lucky, with their teeth knocked out. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I do not talk about that kind of stuff on my channel. What I do in my personal life, frankly, is nobody's fucking business. And secondly, I will cut my own tongue and heart out before I ever talk about something like that. So, no, they're not a myth. And, you know, I'm friends with a lot of guys, a lot of bros that I consider bros. I mean, the best biker movie I've ever watched was Hell's Angels on Wheels with Jack Nicholson and, Sonny Barger was in that one, and a few other guys. That's my favorite biker movie. I'm not rattled. I'm just, speaking to you man to man, down to earth. I'm not rattled at all. I'm just telling you how it is, you know? That'd be like me saying, talking about your mother and father if I went there, you would get pissed off. Don't let my look surprise you. I'm not rattled, and I am chill on ice. I'm actually in a good mood. So, you know, you'll see a lot of these idiots on different YouTube channels who will say a whole bunch of crazy stuff just to get their views and their clicks. But, I'm gonna just keep it 100 open honest. Walk up to a real motorcyclist who's in a 1% club with a patch, who's a patch holder, and say that kind of stuff. See what happens. You know, I'll just say it like that. Because, you know, some of my subscribers on my channel are members and real good friends of mine. So, I'm going to talk the talk and I'm going to walk the walk. But I'm not going to get off topic. So I'm not going to end my live stream bad. But that kind of stuff, I just won't talk about on my channel. Sports is one thing, fragrance, mainly fragrance, sports, you know, or if you got something going on in your life that's bothering you, that's one thing. But that kind of stuff, I leave outside my content. I don't really want it on my channel. So, with that being said, it's getting about that time. Probably 2 more minutes. I'm going to shut it down so I can go eat. And then I'm going to get my workout in and go out and cruise on my bike for the night. Because I have somewhere I got to be. And I probably won't be home till probably sometime tomorrow morning. So have a good night, Joe. Thank you for tuning in. And last but not least, let's get to my final verdict on the final one. I saved this one for the last grand finale before I shut it down. Zaharoff, Gusto Limoni. I spent a few days with this one too. And I gotta say, coming from Zaharoff, in all honesty, this is by far the best pickup for me. So, hey, what's up, George? Since George is in the building, I guess I'll stay a little longer. I got to hand it to you, sir. I gave this 3 full wears. I'm impressed. I really, really like this one. What you and what Claude cooked up. This is my favorite, absolute favorite. I think this is by far one of your best, visions you brought to life. It's absolutely stunning, and, I get pretty good performance. Get good 8 hours, and man, do you really get a beautiful lemon, and it really does, does smell like Italy in a bottle. Wow, 2 hours? Huh, I get really good performance on this, and I guess that can happen. I like this one. I absolutely love it. I think it's his best release. I think this is my favorite one. It's one of my best pickups. I gotta get I go nose blind to it, but, I let my brother test it out too, and, I got about 8 hours on skin. In all honesty, you know, sometimes you can get, 2, 3 hours with a fragrance, let's say Creed Aventus. Creed Aventus. I get 4 hours on skin. Do I hate it? No, I still love it. I still wear it regardless. Yeah, yeah. First day I tested it, when it came in, I did spray a little too much. I think I did 10 sprays and went heavy with it. And I really got a beautiful fresh opening. I got the spearmint, the lemon. I also picked up some mineral woods as it dried down. And the scent did come back to me, but in the first beginning, in the opening, the opening stayed there for a hot minute. Hey, that's okay, Will. Sometimes that happens. You know, there's, like the Oracle. At first I didn't like the Oracle, but after I bought a sample of it. After I spent a good couple of weeks with it, it's a decent fragrance. It's good, but I didn't need a full bottle, and it wasn't on my radar, so I never bought it. I enjoyed the sample, but, you know, I wasn't motivated enough to buy a full bottle, so I didn't buy it. And that was probably the only one that just didn't motivate me enough to buy a full bottle. And I think I own 20 Zahara fragrances so far. Yeah, I know. I know he likes Zaharoff. Yeah, yes, there is. Citrine is beautiful. Um, I gotta say, Coco Loco, I really love that name. I really like the coconut that is being used in coconut. Yeah, I did. I paid for every one of them. Yeah, money adds up quick, but you know what? I'm happy I own all of them. And all of them sit at the top of my collection because they're the king in the jungle in my collection. And out of the 20 that I own, I have some of my favorites. Seraphim Blue, Seraphim Red, beautiful. Precious Treasure, of course, hands down the best one. That one just wafts around. I go nose blind the Precious Treasure too, but man, does that one perform too. Who's brand face? Adios, Brandon. He's gone. And I'm just, trolls are trolls, but he's gone. So, hey, you know that Tech Nine song, Jellysicle? I think Brandon was sucking on too many jellysicles in his life, one too many times. Jealousy. Jealousy gets to the best of a lot of people out there. And it's to me, jealousy is a virus. There's no point, but you can't really, people can't change that are like that. Some people have to be like that to function in life, unfortunately. But you know what? I'll just say a prayer for that person later tonight. The outcome? Yes, always a good time. Yes, absolutely. Meaning, that reminds me, I gotta DM you later. Maybe tomorrow I'll message you on Facebook, George. But yes, um, eventually I'm gonna probably want to pick up some shower gel and body balm. I'm pretty much down on the last remaining citrine body balm. So eventually I think I'm gonna get the shower gel and body balm of Gusto Limoni. I need to give it a whirl. And that's the other thing. Yeah, I'm over the hump and I'm slowly getting there. I'm not that far behind. But I tried out when I saw my mom, I gave her the black rose lotion and the shower gel. She ended up giving me a little sample and I tried it out. That black rose body balm, phew, beautiful. And I use that when I wear black rose Halfetti and it kind of boosts it up. And man, is that a beautiful one. So you have good shower gel, you have good lotion, and it's thick, really good texture, and it's very concentrated. I love it. And of course, what I like the most is you sell shave soap, the original kind, shave soap in a tub. I have an old school brush. That's the best way for me to get a shave. And then I have that what? Tabak aftershave. Hmm, beautiful stuff. Yes, citrine body balm, beautiful. I went through it a lot. I think I have this much in my jar left, but eventually I'm gonna have to get another jar of that. I want to get the shower gel and stuff. I kind of just don't use like I used to use Axe and uh, Old Spice body wash, but I would like to get that Gusto Limoni shower gel and lotion too. It has to smell good in the shower. Thank you, George. That reminds me, I'm going to message you tomorrow on Facebook. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. But yeah, this will be my scent of the day tomorrow. You're welcome. So it's about what? I think the 2-hour mark again. I think. But yeah, I guess shut it down, go do what I got to do, go out and enjoy the rest of my evening. So I appreciate every one of you guys who came out and Trip. No disrespect. I hope you enjoy your evening, but I got some things I got to do and I got some other agendas that I need to get to. So thank you all for coming to my live stream. Thank you for the support. Much love. Enjoy your night. Stay safe. God bless and smell your best. Peace out.